Oh no. Mm-mm. Oh, that's okay. Ugh, that's the worst. Ugh, never again. Oh my gosh. If you're like me, you are struggling with seeing some of the things in your Facebook news feed. And don't you wish there was a way that you could take control of your news feed and what you see and what you don't see on Facebook? Well, hello, beautiful people. It's your girl, Grammy, aka Miss Eileen, and today I'm going to help you to take control of your Facebook news feed. If you're tired of seeing all those memes and all that content that you don't even really care about, you wonder sometimes why you're even following a certain person that you probably don't even remember ever being friends with. And you just want a quick way to just give your news feed a facelift. You probably also have some folks that you're friends with, but they're posting all kinds of content that you're not interested in at all. And so you kind of wish you could just, hmm, like put them on mute, but you don't want to like unfriend them because they're still your friends. And maybe it's just for a certain amount of time that you really just want to ignore what they have to say. So the first thing I want you to do is pull out your phone. Go ahead and pull out your phone. And I want to say hi to my friend Fraser Ramsey, who's here. Ramsey Unleash. And yes, the Wawa Queen. Yeah, I had my Wawa coffee today. And so I want you to pull out your phone. I'm going to bring mine up as well. And we're going to go into, right now, I'm actually using the iPhone. And I'm going to show you how you can adjust your settings on your Facebook news feed. Okay? Got your phone out? You ready to go? Okay, so here we go. At the bottom, on the bottom right hand side, you'll see those three lines. We call that the hamburger menu. Okay? So click on the hamburger menu. And from the hamburger menu, you're going to scroll up. And do this along with me. Okay, I'm going to go slow. So you're going to go to settings and privacy. And then you're going to click on settings. Click on settings. Now, Facebook really has so many settings. And this is why I wanted to share this with you because it's kind of hidden. Like if you didn't know where to go step by step, you'd be totally lost. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is scroll down some. Gonna go past all this stuff and keep going, keep going, keep going. Now you're going to see shortcuts. Now I'm going to come back to shortcuts in a minute because I got a trick for you before we go. I'm going to tell you what you can do with with the shortcut bar. But now we're going to go into the news feed settings. News feed settings, which is also known as news feed preferences. Why it has to have two names, I don't know. All right, so here we go. Wow, this screen looks promising, doesn't it? Hi, Sammy. Sammy Superstar is here. This screen looks promising because right away you see, even Facebook is letting you know that you can take control and customize your news feed. And so the first thing you're going to do is prioritize who you see first. So let's really go into that because I think that's super important. There's certain people that you just don't want to ever miss their content. Like it could be yours truly, it could be my Facebook page. We'll see. Let's go into prioritize who you see first. Probably going to want to see your close friends and family. Now, also, I want to mention that, Facebook has their algorithm. And so a lot of times, what they'll do is when you're constantly engaging with someone, hey, Jess Sampson, when you're constantly engaging with someone, all right, even if you're thumbing down their content or giving them a sad face or whatever, because you can't actually thumb down, Facebook still takes that as a signal that you're interested in that person's content. And it may be that you really would wish that you wouldn't see that person's content anymore. Okay. But also, there's an algorithm around Facebook pages. We know that, right? So, what's important here is even though you've liked someone's Facebook page, that doesn't mean that you're going to see their content. Okay. But here, if you have a page that you really want to make sure you see their content is super important, then you want to tap that and give that a star. So, for example, my EcammLive friends, I definitely want to know when the folks from Ecamm Network, that's the software that I'm using right now, by the way. It gives me this cool little picture in picture on the side here. And so I want to make sure I see first whenever they post something. Okay. So, and then my friend Fraser Ramsey, he's here. So I have got to tap on him as well. Right. So you just go through now, sort of, this one is sort of a wasted one. Here, right here, where the one that's at the very bottom, the yellow one that says BTS, that's better than success. That is my daughter, Nicole Purvey. And you see her there, a row above. I don't need to see the content from Better Than Success first because most of the time I'm the one who's posting the content. The same way I don't need to see first things from my page, which you go up back up to the top row. You see my one at the in the middle there at the top. Why do I need to see that first? I'm already the one who's posting the stuff, right? So we're going to turn off see first on BTS, which is better than success. Okay. So now we're all done with see first. Oh, Richard Clarkson is here. Hey, he's calling me Grammy. Yes. All right. So we're going to say done. So, really quickly, because Richard just came and I just want to make sure that everybody has that. All what you need to do is you go to the hamburger menu down at the bottom right. Now, if it's in another location, Facebook does tend to move things around. So whenever you're watching this video, what you need to do is look for that hamburger menu. So you go into that hamburger menu, you scroll up, you're going to look for settings and privacy and then settings. All right. Scroll past a lot of stuff. And like I said, whenever you're watching this video, Facebook may change the look of this, but you're still going to look for that same thing, which is news feed settings. Okay. Is everybody with me? All right. So now here's the gold. Here's the gold. Here's where you've got someone who you're friends with. Let's just say it's one of someone you grew up with. You really love this person. You just can't stand the stuff they post on Facebook. It's just not, you're not interested in it. It's annoying to you, or, whatever the case may be. So you don't want to unfriend them because, you know, they'll see like you're in the same groups with that person. And if they, you know, ever try to reach out to you or something like that, they'll see that you've unfriended them and you don't want that to happen. Ha ha ha. Unfollow people to hide their posts. The second thing you see there. Oh, this is gold. This is gold, folks. Okay? Because what happens is, even though it says unfollow people, I want you to take note, pay close attention that there are people on here as well as groups and pages. So you literally can like and follow a page, but then come in here and say hide their posts. I don't know why people would do that. I think this is more effective for maybe groups. Maybe you've joined a group, you don't want to leave the group, but maybe just right now is not the time. Maybe somebody in the group is running a promo, they've got a book launch coming out or something like that. And you're just like, I'm tired of hearing about this book, right? So you just hide. That way you're still in the group. You want to check in, you can seek it out on your own. I'll show you how to do that. That's where the shortcuts bar comes in. All right. So you can go ahead and unfollow. So what I'll do is I'll just scroll, and you'll see that there's going to be folks that show up on here that you're saying to yourself, why am I even connected with that person? I don't even remember them. Now, in this particular case, I know that this friend of mine has more than one profile, and they're not using this profile anyway. And so I probably, well, I could just go ahead and say unfollow, because technically, and here's another ninja tip for you. Technically, anytime you send someone a friend request, you're following them. So even if they don't accept your request, you're still following them. I know you probably didn't know that, did you? So, yeah, there's a way you can go in here and find out if there's people that you sent friend requests to that didn't accept your request to. You can unfollow those folks. But if you happen to see them here, you just go ahead and unfollow them. Now, here up here it says search for people and pages. And so you could just type in, and I'll just type in another one of my pages. It didn't show up, so I probably already unfollowed it. Let's try something else. Let's see. I'll just unfollow another page. Oh, this here's a group. I'll unfollow my own group. All right. Even though, like I said, I can come back in here and turn it back on, but I'll unfollow my own group. Oh, how sad is that? I just wanted to demo that to you guys, that it's not just people in here. Even though Facebook says that it's people, and you actually can sort. All right. I want to just see that really quickly. And I'm going to put this comment up on screen. I can highlight a person, but there is nothing to allow me to unfollow the person. I'm on Android. Wow. I didn't realize that Android was that different. Are you sure if you tap on that person that it won't unfollow them? This this feature should be on Android as well, especially if you follow that same path that I just went through. And Sammy's laughing at me saying how sad it is that I'm unfollowing my own group. Okay. But I want you to also see that people you see the most is what's at the top. Wait a minute, hang on. Let me go back to the top. So Facebook is already telling you these are the people that you see the most. But remember, it says people, but that also includes groups and pages. Okay. So Let's tap on something else. Here's another one of my groups. Didn't want to unfollow that, but when you scroll up a little, then that's when you see that search window. So you can start searching for somebody. Your Richard says he's on the exact same page. It puts a circle around him. Yes, and that's how you know you've unfollowed him. Let me show you. Let me show you. One more time. I'm going to have to pick. All right, so I'm going to unfollow this Facebook group. So this is a group for my patrons. And it did put a circle around it, but did you notice that up at the bottom, a little thing scooted up there that says you unfollowed it? I'm going to do it one more time. Now, I'm going to tap on the yellow icon, which is my daughter's page, right? But I want you to look at the very bottom of the phone, way down at the bottom. Way down at the bottom of the phone, you're going to see a little thing that slides up that says, you've unfollowed. Okay? So check that out, Richard. All right, so I'm just going to tap. You unfollowed better than success. And it gives you a split second there to tap on undo. So if you've tapped on people, you've already unfollowed them. All right. And so, you know, Facebook makes this so tricky. This is another reason why I am sharing this with you guys. All right. Because, first of all, it's hard to find. And as you can see, that interface is not like the most intuitive interface. You know, you don't even realize that you've actually unfollowed something until now. If you really look closely, where it says better than success, it says unfollowed. Now I'm going to tap on that again. Now it says I'm following. And I'm going to tap back on my group again to get it back. Now it says you are following. Did you see that popping up there? And my work and focus group, I'm going to tap on that again to bring it back. Okay, so other things that I unfollowed, and I'll just have to watch this video back and make sure I didn't unfollow something that I really need to follow. All right, so yeah, and I love, oh, here we go, my other group, my patrons group, which is ILEANE.live. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't unfollow any people by mistake. But I could, like I said, I can go through here and there may even be some pages. Now, here's the deal. Why would you follow a page? You know, because Facebook is kind of wavering now about the naming conventions that they're using. Okay? Because you can, all for years was always you could like a page. And then once you liked the page, you became a fan of the page. Then they kind of start saying, get away with that word fans. But yet sometimes, you know, they use it. Oh, Facebook, I tell you. But now you can also follow a page. So you could have liked a page before and you really want to see that page's content. But guess what? If you're not following them, there's a slim chance. And even though, for example, I showed you earlier that I have prioritized who to see first, and I did click on a few pages there. Let me bring back this phone screen share. I did click on a few pages there, you know, like Adventure Social. Shout out to John Eric Mosler from Adventure Social. He is one of the folks that is like my guru to keep me up to date with what's going on with all these changes with Facebook. And even though I have him on See First, I know I don't always see that content first because John Eric has done something really brilliant that I always recommend for you guys to do as well. He also has an email list. So he'll usually send out some type of an email or a text, a messenger alert when something really big is going on. And I don't always see it in my news feed. So there's another ninja tip I threw in there. Just make sure that when you do have a page, that you're also building your email list. And you know you can do that for free with Aweber. I'll throw that in there too. So you just go over to eileen.link/Aweber. All right, to get started with list building. Okay, so I just love. Let's go back into unfollow people to hide their posts. I just love that I can do this, or that we can do this and not offend our friends, because as far as they know, we're still friends. And they may wonder, and they may even post something that they know, like, I know this is just going to get Eileen's attention. She's going to see this and she's going to be so upset. No, I won't. No, I won't see it. Okay. So just keep that in mind. And also remember that, some of your friends may have found, or they may have watched this video, or even if you know someone who needs to see this video, now would be a great time to go ahead and share it out so that they can take advantage of it. Okay. So, all right. So, the next thing I want to show you, and I promised you that I was going to come back to this, and that is something called the shortcuts bar. All right. Oh, before we go to the shortcuts bar, let's just go over the other things that are here on this screen. You can reconnect with people you unfollowed. I'm not going to tap on that because then you're going to see everybody that I actually unfollowed. And it could be someone who's watching this video, not anybody who's in the room now though. You guys are all my best buds. All right, and then there's a snooze settings, because sometimes something will happen right away and you'll say snooze that particular person. But this, you can come in here and manage those settings, and maybe you want to unsnooze someone or something like that. But what I like about doing it this way is that you can manage that whole concept of your news feed at one time, not just the day that somebody said something that you didn't like, or just bored you to tears, or got on your nerves, or whatever. All right. So then there's also apps that you can hide from the news feed. Okay. I probably have some games and things that I've hidden. I'm going to have to look at that when I'm not screen sharing because I don't want to offend anybody. And that's the whole point. Is this is your news feed, and Facebook is giving you control over it. And even though, like I said, you've been connected, you've liked pages and all that good stuff, it's giving you this extra setting here that you can actually hide stuff that you don't want to see. Okay, so with that said, let's go back to what I promised you that I would show you, and that is the shortcuts. Shortcuts. Does anybody know what shortcuts are? I'm not going to quiz you. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. The little icons across the bottom of the screen. So you see I have the home button, I have the video button, which is actually videos on Facebook Watch. Then I have the groups, then I have the pages, and the notification bell. Well, let me just say, the notification bell is something that there's nothing you can do about that notification bell. That's going to be there no matter what. But we can go into, once again, Facebook with their names. All right. It's called shortcuts, but this is called a shortcut bar. I don't know why. Why can't they call it the shortcuts bar? Whatever. It's Facebook. What can I tell you? So if I wanted to remove an icon from the bottom, let's just say I wanted to remove, you know what? I'll add it back. I'll add back Marketplace. See, I've never actually conducted any business on Facebook Marketplace. And so, and I'm not saying that I would never want to do it. You never know. I mean, first of all, I got a ton of stuff I probably could be selling over there. Have any of you guys ever used Facebook Marketplace? I would love, love, love to know. Let me know in the comments if you've ever even looked for something in Facebook Marketplace. So I've got it toggled off, but let's toggle it on. When you turn on a shortcut, it may not immediately become available in your shortcut bar. So looks like we got to wait for a minute, but let's just go back to the pages and let's go here. And let's, okay, so it may take a minute for it to show back up, but I don't want to share anyone's privacy. All right, so let's get back into it. So let's go to the hamburger menu. And so it's there. Okay, so let's turn off videos on watch. Now that disappeared immediately. Did you guys see that? It disappeared from that row immediately. Let's put it back because I actually like to watch videos on watch. That's where I show up. And it came back right away. Now, let's just turn off the groups. Now, I love my Facebook groups. In fact, that's where I spend most of my time on Facebook is either on my page or in my groups. So I'm definitely putting that one back. I'm going to put that back right now. So it's just a shortcut way to get to these different items on Facebook. And so let me just come back on full screen and just see if it changes up while I'm away. And yeah, so there you have it. There's, how you can take control of your news feed on Facebook. And so we'll just do a real quick recap of the steps. You go to the hamburger menu, settings and privacy, then settings, then scroll down past a bunch of other stuff. A bunch of other stuff. I just bit my tongue. And look for newsfeed settings, aka newsfeed preferences. Why it needs two names, I don't know. Facebook likes to confuse us, but it's the same thing. They equal the same thing. Prioritize who you see first. Unfollow people to hide their posts. Actually, more than just people, it's pages and groups as well as your friends. Ninja tip: when you send someone a friend request, you're automatically following them, whether they friend you back or not. So you may notice that you have a lot of followers and wonder where those followers are coming from. That's all those requests that you've turned down because you're vetting, you are trying to train your timeline, right? So sometimes you get random requests. I'll tell you a little story. I got one the other day. And I got a friend request, and I saw that this person was friends with some of my friends that I'm good with. Okay? And I looked at their timeline, and they had a little salesy stuff on there, but for the most part, it seemed pretty okay. All right? So I accepted the request because I know all the ninja tips. I know how to get it going there. I could accept his friend request, and yeah, it was a he. That's important for me to tell you the next part. And so I could accept that friend request and go right in there in those settings that I just showed you and say hide. And he would never know. Right? 2 days later, it may not have been 2 days, it may have been the next day, his wife sends me a friend request. So I said, "Oh, I see how this is like tag teaming or something." But her timeline was not the kind of content that I'm interested in seeing on any social media, not just Facebook. And so I quickly unfriended him and deleted her request. Now, both of them, unless they've gone in here and hid me or unfollowed me, both of them now are following me. So they're seeing my content. Lucky for them, I don't post a lot my um on my timeline. So no, just a little tidbit that I wanted to share with you, that you are following anyone that you send a friend request to, whether they accept your friend request or not. And there is a place in here, and if I can find it really quickly, I will. And I believe it's under when you edit your, Facebook has so many settings, guys, that I'm actually not going to go in here and try to figure that out. But I do want to go back and look at under the newsfeed settings, apps that I've hidden. And okay, good. I'll show you an app that I've hidden. Let's go back and so you see how I did that. And I think back in the day, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I had requests from people always wanting me to play a specific game with them. Well, I'm not really a gamer. I might play a game of cards IRL, meaning in real life, if we're together in the same room. I've never actually played cards online at all. Um, I like to play a good game of Pinochle, which I haven't played in ages because my friend Mr. Rodney, he doesn't play. All right, he plays a couple other games though. So here is an app that I've hidden it so long ago. 3 years ago, it tells me I've hidden this app, which was called Spades Plus, because people were hot for that game 3 years ago, and I kept getting invitations to play Spades Plus with different people, and there's nothing against those folks. I just said, you know what? I don't want to see any more requests from Spades Plus, and it might have been a fun game. It's just not my thing. Okay, so you can hide apps as well, because I'm sure that's happened to you before. You've gotten game requests, and I think there's probably another setting in here that I just completely said, don't ever send me any game. No, no gaming. It's not my thing. Not to do on my phone. Nothing against gaming. Just not a phone thing for me. Okay. So there you have it, guys. I showed you all about the shortcuts bar or shortcuts, in addition to how to take control of your news feed. So, for more Facebook tips, you can watch one of the videos that I have linked up on the screen here, and head over to my Facebook page, which is Miss Eileen Speaks. And with that, as always, stay beautiful.